I went to a local game swap and I ended up leaving with over $1,000 worth of gaming stuff. Hey Nintendo fans and collectors, Lithium here from my channel Nintendo Collecting. Game swaps, if you haven't been to one, I would highly recommend. They are an event. You basically go and there are vendors with tables that are set up at the venue and you can make trades if they're willing. You can buy Nintendo items. There's some people with shirts and different items and figurines. It's not just video games. And really, it's just everyone there having a good time, trying to add to their collections, trying to get rid of some stuff, and really, I didn't have a table, but I was just really happy to go. Now, what I was really fortunate with is that my best friend couldn't make it, so I was able to go with my wife. She came along with me. This was her first game swap. And if you ever go to one in Southern Ontario, keep your eyes open for me. I always wear this Nintendo 64 hat. If you happen to see me, definitely say hello. I love chatting about gaming. And what's awesome about the game swap is you start to build relationships and you start to see the same people over and over again at various swap meets, which is really cool. So this isn't even everything. These are just the 6 games that I want to talk about first, and then I'll get to some other really cool items that I got at the game swap also. My favorite and one of the biggest hits that I got was this copy of Pokemon Fire Red. I did already have Fire Red, but I had the Player's Choice Edition, and my wife was always nagging on me, saying, that's the only one on the Pokewall. It's the only one that's Player's Choice in the Pokewall. And this one even includes the Game Boy wireless adapter for the Game Boy Advance. It was valued at 500 Canadian dollars, and I did a really big trade for it because I wanted to get this. It's in really quite good condition. I have seen it before. I have the box for it normally, but it's actually the PAL edition, which is from Europe. I got duped one other time before, and the prices of these have just gone up and up and up and up. Not just that, but also just with the cartridge. The cartridge goes crazy amount already. Let me know what you paid for this if you have it, and what you're willing to pay for it if you could ever find it. So, what I did for this trade was I had a really, really minty copy of this. A second one, because this is the one that I actually kept, obviously. So the one that I had was in brand new condition, but it was opened, and I imagine someone already turned the system on, but I opened it up for him, we took a look at it, and it looked brand new. The value of that American is probably somewhere around $300 because it really was in like new condition, couldn't guarantee it was new. So we had valued that in our Canadian dollars at like, for a trade value, maybe around like $330, because obviously the gentleman there needs to make some sort of a profit. So then I traded this and I tacked onto it 180 bucks and I was able to go home with the Fire Red. Now, why that was such a good deal for me, even though this was in such good condition and it's very collectible, I bought the other copy of this for $100. So I ended up spending basically 280 bucks to get this. It's kind of like an upgrade scheme, which a lot of people have done before, where, you know, you buy something for $5, you keep trying to trade it up to something worth a lot of money. So for $280, I was pretty happy, even though I know the one that I got rid of for this was worth a lot more. So sometimes you should consider a one-sided trade. It's a good tip for collecting. I used to do 101 collecting tips, by the way, of course. So this is complete. It's in really good shape. I don't know if it's actually valued at $500 in this condition. Canadian, US would probably be around almost 400 bucks because it is in really good shape. Now, next up is Fire Emblem. To get this, because this was valued US dollars probably at 200 to 220, quite a bit, I traded away a complete copy of Mario Party 3, and then I put a few dollars on top of that. I think I put like another 60 bucks on top. This is the first Fire Emblem game released, I believe, in North America. There were several of them that exist already out in Japan on the Super Nintendo. There's a few of them, but I thought in North America this is the first one. I don't have this one. I have the sequel. This is 2003, so maybe the GameCube one was out around the exact same time because Path of Radiance came out on the GameCube. And then, of course, there's sequels and sequels upon sequels, and the new games on the Switch are fantastic. So this is complete in box. I think he had it Canadian for $280, $270, $280, and trading away Mario Party 3, it was a duplicate that I picked up. That one I probably paid, I think, like 100 bucks for, or 120 for, and then the $60 on top. So in the end, I ended up getting this for, in my money, like 160 to 180, which I was very happy with because this is something that I've had really high up on my wanted list for a long time. The Fire Emblem series is a lot of fun. It's like real-time strategy. You got to plan out what you're doing, and there's permadeath with characters and things, but I've never played the original, so I am excited to play that for the first time. Now, I do own Majora's Mask. You can see it on the Zelda wall. It is right there. Oh no, the games are falling, the games. And I don't own this variation specifically, which is why I picked this up. If you take a look at this, this is the regular release of the game, not the collector's edition. It doesn't say collector's edition right here, and the cartridge is not holographic. It has all the inserts and the manuals. It's in really quite good condition. This one is actually more rare than the collector's edition. I have searched for this for a decade, trying to find it locally because I don't want to buy it online and pay shipping fees. I've hunted and hunted, and every one that I've found, only maybe 3 or 4 of them, has been in horrendous condition. So when I saw this right away, my eyes went wide. I was really excited, and I knew I had to go home with this. So Majora's Mask is a game that I didn't fall in love with as a kid. The time mechanic I found really rough because I played the first 40 minutes of the game and I kept not being successful, and then I wouldn't save properly because you got to get to a certain point to save to go back in time, and it kind of just left a bad taste in my mouth. But it's a much more dense game. There's a lot going on in Termina, the new world. It is a sequel basically to Ocarina of Time with the same Link character. I would highly recommend you play this game. A lot of people that have played through it say it's near the top of all the Zelda entries. So to get this one, I kind of traded away an arm and a leg. The first thing I traded away was the last story. This is a factory sealed copy. It was factory sealed because I have 2 of them for whatever reason. I've held on to these for a really long time. I picked up a second one in a trade 10 years ago or something. This honestly released back in 2006, so I've probably had the sealed copies on me for like 16, 17 years. It's been a really long time. This has dropped in value a little bit recently, as have a lot of things in the collecting world. So I valued it probably at like 150, like 140, 150 American in the condition it was in. It was really good. So I traded away that. And I also traded away a copy of Super Adventure Island 2, just the cartridge. And I think already he was winning in that trade. But then he also wanted my copy of Dr. Mario for the Nintendo 64 that was in very poor condition, and I would have valued that at like $15 in that condition. So I threw it in just to make sure I got the trade and that I got the item. So it was a one-sided trade, but this I had already had the other duplicate of for a long time, and I think I probably bought it for like $60 way back when. And the last story I probably paid, I think, $80 when it released, so it was like $140, but the money I spent a decade ago, or really, really, really long time ago. So now I finally have a box copy of this. I can also put it on the wall over here. I've got 3 copies of Ocarina of Time, but 2 of them are duplicates. I, for some reason, have another copy of the collector's edition, so now I get to put this one, so I'll have 2 Majora's Masks there. It's a little bit redundant, but I really want the variations, and I've been collecting those. Let me know if you're into collecting variations also. And then Earthworm Jim in remarkable condition. This game I grew up playing on the Sega Genesis. I did not play it on the Super Nintendo. He had this valued at $180. I have Earthworm Jim 2 complete in box. I had Earthworm Jim 1 just as the cartridge, but this has the insert, the poster, the manual in really, really good condition. So because it was near the end of the day, I didn't pay $180 for it. I believe I just paid $150 or $160, and I did that straight up cash. So American, that would be like $110, $120. I'm really paying for the condition of this, and I'm paying to find it in person to not have it shipped. These games are so wonky, so weird. You fight as Earthworm Jim, of course, and all the levels are kind of like fun, gross. It was really cool as a teen, and I don't remember it that well. I've got to replay through those games, but they're really fun. I used to play those with my friend Mike when I was growing up. And then 2 games that I bought with cash. Phantom Brave on the Wii, I would say, is a sleeper gem that not many people know about. It was $65. I paid $60 for it in cash, which is $40, $45 American. I do have this game already, but what I don't have is the slipcover. The slipcover is super rare. It's really hard to find. Usually you just find a copy of the game itself and not the slipcover. So I've been hunting this down for a really long time and paying only $60 for this game. It's a 2-disc copy. It has the manual in really good condition. And this game is honestly something that you should try yourself. I have not put enough time into this. I don't know why when I got it, I like kind of had a bad taste in my mouth because when I bought it, I think I did buy the other one on eBay and I thought it came with a slipcover and then it didn't. And then I don't know why, I just didn't get into it and I never really played it. And I really want to get into it more. It includes a digital art disc, which is kind of cool. Test your strategic might on the Island of Phantoms. There's chapters involved. This game is probably then from a re-release. It's Phantom Brave We Meet Again, so I imagine this was out on another system first. Maybe the PSP or the PlayStation 2 or something like that, I would imagine. But yeah, hidden gem that a lot of people have recommended that I try and play, and I really wanted to get the slipcover first before I do so for whatever reason. What a weird collecting nerd. And then Upona. I don't even know if I'm pronouncing that correctly. It is a rarity on the Wii. It's made by Koi, or Koei. I bought a copy of this locally before, and when it came and when I got it, it was all of this was like completely discolored, and it just drives me crazy, and the manual's really rough, and I just want a better copy of it. He had it for 80 bucks. I paid 70 for it. It is complete. I got to clean this up a little bit more, but overall I was really happy to get this, especially in this condition, because I now can like sell away the other copy that I have, and I can probably sell the other copy that I have for 60, 70 bucks, and I only paid 70 for this anyway, so it's basically a break even just to upgrade the quality. One of my collecting tips back in the day was to like get it right the first time if you're going to go after a certain condition for something. My buddy Jordan's trying to find Mischief Makers for the N64 in really good condition, so he's being picky for it, because it's worth it. If it's something you really want, you should buy it right the first time. I should have never bought it in the condition I got previously. Now, other cool things I got at the meet was I got this Super Mario Warp Pipe Pen and Plant Pot. So you can put a pot in it. It is made of ceramic. It is hard. It's made by Paladone. They have tons of this kind of thing. And this was just 10 bucks. I have no idea if I can find it online still. I imagine it would have been like $20 in stores. It was released 2 years ago. So I'm going to put it on my SNES, my Super Nintendo desk, and put some pens in it and various things on my desk. I've had this... I put it on my desk a little while ago with the meat and everything. But anyways, I love it. It's great just to hold some items while you're being a desk nerd, basically. All right, next up was the Super Mario Bros. Movie. I don't usually collect movies. This is still sealed. It does have the slipcover. It was only 10 bucks. So I thought for $10, this can go on my Mario wall with all of my World of Nintendo figurines, and I've got a poster for the movie already. This movie was a lot of fun. I really liked it. Even all the homages that they had throughout the whole movie, you were constantly going like, ha, I know where that's from, I know what game that's from, and it was lots of fun. Even Mario Kart references throughout the game. So 10 bucks, I couldn't go wrong. I was really pleased to pick that up at that price and actually own the movie, because I feel like I should. Next is a smaller thing, but I've been trying to collect all the guides for Nintendo Power. There's a lot of them. I think there's like 139 of them or something like that. I've got a list. So far I've got like 40 of them. I have them back on the wall that's kind of covered up by the games right now. But I'm going to try and get all of them in pretty good condition. I paid $20 for this. It's Yoshi's Island DS. Sometimes these have posters in them, but the artwork is fantastic. I really wish I picked up more of these when they were out, because I loved playing through the games as a kid and using one of the guides sometimes when you got stuck. Honestly, I thought it was really cool. Some of the older ones are really expensive, so $20 for one of those, I was pretty pleased. And the last item I got is this Pokemon case that my wife was like, you gotta get this. It was $5. The other side is just plain red, but inside, and look at these little Pokeballs actually as the little zippers. It's got some symbols here, which are super strange. There's like Psyduck, and it looks like Wigglytuff, I think, Wigglytuff. Anyways, they all look like weird symbols of the game that I'm not that familiar with. Maybe some of these are what you earn in the game, but I'm pleased that you can store games. It looks like you can store up to 10 on here. And for $5, I thought that was the right price. The only thing about this case that I should have paid more attention to is it has a little ding mark right here. He had several of them, so I probably should have just extracted it out, but that ding mark's probably going to happen again. And there's some protection on there as well. So this holds a DS Lite or a regular DS or OLED edition. So that's everything I got at the Game Swap. I had lots of fun. I really want to thank my wife for coming with me, because honestly, as nerds together, it was pretty cool. She's more of an athlete than a nerd. She loves Pokemon. She loves video games. We really have a lot in common, so I was really thankful she could come with me, and I was really happy for all the vendors making some trades with me. So in general, this is over $1,000 worth of stuff in just 2, 4, 6 games, some other knickknacks, a guide, and a movie. In Canadian dollars anyways, it's over $1,000, which is insane. But I didn't pay that up front because I made some trades, and I got some really good games, and I can't wait to just play through again. Even Fire Red. Such a gem, so well done as a remake. Thank you so much for watching. Let me know what your favorite item is that I picked up. If you've ever been to a game swap, I would love to hear your thoughts. Go collect them all, keep smiling while gaming. Thanks for watching, everyone.